What's up, everybody, and welcome once again to Tale of the Tape, brought to you by Gym Bag Entertainment, the show about combat sports by guys who love combat sports. And as always, it's the beast from the East, Craig Campbell, and my co-host,
your jaw-breaking journalist, Michael Johnson.
Oh, man, that's awesome. All right, so we're going to jump right into it for you. UFC Fight Night, Joanna versus Waterson, Saturday, October 12th at 8 p.m. in the Amalia Arena, Tampa, Florida. And this was a really satisfying event.
Yeah, despite Joe Martinez starting it off by saying it was Joanna versus Waterman.
Really?
And I was like, oh, man, Joe.
Wow.
But that's okay.
I mean, at least he got the gender right. Waterman, yeah. Waterson. I guess that kind of...
Yeah, right. I don't know if that got it. But, yeah, you know. Good card overall, definitely.
Yeah.
Good fans down in Florida, you know.
And we started off with an excellent fight in the flyweight division. So. Yeah, J.J. Aldrich, 7-3, going up against the 5-2 Lauren Mueller. What do you think about this one?
Two rising stars, you know. Real good fight, good pace, yeah. Good decision win for J.J. Aldrich. Nothing fancy.
No,
you know, good,
just technical.
Perfect fundamentals, 1-2s, you know, coming in behind the jab, good kicks. Lauren just couldn't get inside. You know, her striking looked good.
It did.
She had some good body kicks, you know.
But for every one punch she was landing, JJ was coming back with 3.
Yeah, JJ with combinations and
almost with the finish.
Yeah, kept it a little safe, you know, but definitely was hurting Lauren, and you could see the damage build up. It's a good fight for JJ.
Yeah, definitely one to get her in the books for some better fights, and I think this is actually a move up for her into the flyweight division. I think she started off in straw. So I'd like to see more from her in the future, and maybe Lauren Mueller just needs to go back to the drawing board.
I'd like to see fighters that are, you know, going up in weight classes and having success. I think that means, you know, that they're done with trying to cut ridiculous amounts of weight, you know, and
I don't know what's going on with my eyes right now. That light is just...
The bright lights.
The bright lights got my eyes watering. All right, and then in the middleweight division, this is a pretty cool fight. Marvin Vettori, 13-4-1, going up against the 11-4 Andrew Sanchez.
Yeah, it's another good one. Another decision. Little bad blood between these guys. They were supposed to fight before.
Andrew Sanchez calling Marvin Vettori a juice head.
Yeah, you know, which we know he would have tested positive already.
Correct,
you know?
Exactly.
Sanchez looked all right, but he definitely is the better grappler, and he just didn't grapple.
I think he gave up on every grappling attempt that he made. And you know what? I'm so mad that I didn't realize who he was when we were originally talking about the card. Because I liked it. He was the winner of the Ultimate Fighter for the light heavyweight division, and then he dropped down to middleweight as soon as he got into the UFC. But has had a bad run of it since entering the UFC. I mean, he got knocked out clean, and I think you really could see the difference that he felt from the last knockout, the way he was protecting himself against Vettori.
Absolutely, great high guard. I mean, Vittori's boxing looked great, but he wasn't landing as much as it seemed like he was. Absolutely, he definitely needs to add some more weapons to his attack, Marvin Vettori. But good, solid decision for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sanchez didn't have much for him by way of the striking. Mixed it up with him here and there. But,
I mean, he definitely put forth an effort, and he was constantly moving forward.
I didn't understand why he wasn't pushing the grappling, though. You know?
Such an excellent wrestler. I mean, that's what got him into the UFC, and to abandon that once you get here is kind of weird to me.
I mean, you know, maybe Vettori with the good defense, but Sanchez didn't really go for it. No. I don't remember him even trying.
I saw him. He tried 3 attempts where he went for a single leg, and Vettori just like completely stopped it. But like he didn't try to switch to a double leg. He immediately went to the underhooks as soon as it got stopped. So
Vettori seems the more powerful fighter in general too.
So, all right, well, it is what it is. In the welterweight division, though, the undefeated Miguel Baeza going up against 4-2 Hector Aldana, and I was a little somewhat disappointed by the ending of this fight.
A little bit, you know, because it was starting to heat up.
Yeah,
I think both competitors are, you know, good competitors. Baeza from Ultimate Fighter, no, Contender Series.
Oh, he's from the Contender Series.
And Great work, I think, by him. Honestly, you know, they were real safe at first, both fighters. Aldana, you know, was a little flat-footed, and Baeza kept landing that calf kick. Baeza was definitely the faster, stronger fighter.
Yeah, very crisp and very sharp with his strikes. I liked it.
Real sharp, real fast, real strong. Definitely athletic for welterweight. You know, looks like he cuts a good amount of weight, good size welterweight. Aldana got the massive swelling on the leg there. You know,
brutal. When you go down, when you literally drop because you can't stand.
When I rewound it and looked at his leg, I mean, leading up to that, like the whole second round, you seen the swelling on his leg was brutal. Like, so he hit him good, broke some real good blood vessels there to give him a massive hematoma, and it hurt too much, and he had to go down. And he knew, you know, he wasn't going to do much with that leg. So he just covered up, took some punches. Round 2, 2 minutes, 32 seconds, TKO, Miguel Baeza. It's a good win.
Can't wait to see him fight again.
Absolutely.
A little bit more competition next time. In the bantamweight division, Marlon Vera, 14-5-1, going up against the 15-5 Andre Ewell, and this was a surprising fight to me, but very dramatic.
Absolutely great fight. Might have got performance of the night here for both fighters. I'm not really sure. I think this was.
It might be deserving.
I think it was, because it was a good back and forth fight. I think Andre Ewell takes the first round for me. With the long jab, the right hand, he was moving around the cage real crisp. You know, his punches are a little lazy.
I get what you're saying with that.
He's not too strong overly. You know, they're both real tall for bantamweight, so they're pretty lean and thin. But Marlon Vera is definitely better suited, you know, for the bantamweight division than Andre Ewell. I think Andre Ewell should probably move up. Look like he's cutting too much weight. But yeah, Chito Vera with some good striking, especially in the second round. He came out and pushed the pace, you know, and changed the variety of strikes, and that definitely took Ewell out of you know, his game plan. When they were clinching up there, and you know, Chito throwing the arm triangle on him while they were standing. That was pretty dope.
If he would have ended it that way from his back,
that was pretty close.
That would have been pretty cool, man. I would have called that like one of the best submissions I've seen. To get it from standing to on your back, pretty impressive. And you know, I think, you know, had he not gotten just you know, punch drunk from Vera, you know, it looked like Ewell might even have won that fight.
I think so, but you know, Vera starts landing in the second, pushing the pace, like I said, landing a variety of strikes, and I forget which one dropped him. But he ends up,
I don't even remember. I just know
he gets the late third round KO from the accumulation of strikes by Marlon Vera. This is like 5 finishes in a row from Marlon Vera. He needs I think he needs a top 10 bantamweight for sure.
I believe so. And he should be riding up for that belt.
He needs to be on the main card. You know?
Absolutely. It was a very, I mean, to go from, you know, looking like it looked like he was gonna lose.
He's notoriously a slow starter. Yeah. He likes to feel them opponents, you know, but he seems to come out and change the game second round.
So, all right, and then an exciting round in the flyweight division.
Exciting couple minutes.
Yeah, Davison Figueroa, 16-1, going up against the 15-8-1 Tim Elliott. Tim Elliott making his return to the octagon, looking pretty good to begin with.
Moving around, doing the same old, you know, unorthodox stuff.
Wild, crazy, but very calculating.
Right. You know, makes you have to, you know, be very calm and tentative at the very least, you know, when you're fighting him. But Davidson was, you know, he didn't throw, you know, anything too overly aggressive. I don't really remember much of the striking exchanges, to tell you the truth.
The best part of the striking exchange was there was a moment where they were somewhat tied up, and I think Elliott went for maybe a spinning back fist, but then they were clinched, and I think he came down with overhand right, but then threw up the elbow, and if he would have hit that upward elbow, might have been a different fight. I don't know, but it was going to be vicious, and he just missed it.
Well, 3 minutes, 8 seconds in, you know, he shoots in double leg with his neck straight up in the air, and lands in the guillotine, perfect guillotine.
Yeah.
Perfect arm-in guillotine for Deiveson Figueiredo, gets a round 1 submission. Tim Elliott definitely knows better. I was always taught when you're shooting the double leg, put your head to their thigh, so it's below their hip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that they can't get you under the armpit.
Ooh,
so
okay.
And he knows that. So
I mean, he's a seasoned vet. He should know that.
And he double-legged him with his neck straight up in the air. That was like, it was perfect submission.
Wow. All right. And then in the welterweight division, the ski mask robbery of the night, Max Griffin, 15-6, going up against the 16-6 Alex Morono.
Yeah, the judges were pulling some robberies tonight for sure.
Must have been something in Vegas.
Super exciting fight.
It's very dramatic, very back and forth.
Fight of the prelims.
Yeah.
For sure. Round 1, Max Griffin right hand just kind of landing at will, like hurting him for sure. I think he got at least 1 takedown in the first round. Second round, Morono comes out. Morono was never out of it. They were mixing it up the whole time. Morono with good kicks, lands a kick up high in the second round, and Griffin was definitely in trouble.
Oh, big trouble.
Morono's pouring it on with the pressure, landing strike after strike, but Griffin was, giving it right back to him, and he couldn't be put away. And makes it through the round. Third round, all Max Griffin. He seemed to wake up completely.
Yeah. Takedown after takedown.
Takedown after takedown. Big takedowns, too. And, keeping him down there, landing some ground and pound. Kept the grappling pressure up the whole round. You could maybe even call that a 10-8 round near that third round.
Possibly.
Somehow, the judges award the decision to Alex Morono 29-27 one time and 29-28 over 2 cards. I don't know who was watching that fight.
So you told me this in the car on the way here.
Yeah.
And I was watching the fight just before I came here. I'm watching the fight, and I watch till the end before I leave the house. But I don't watch the decision because I already know.
Because you're sure Max Griffin
won. He outstrikes in the first round, nothing but takedowns in the fourth, and top control. That's 2 rounds right there, no matter what. 2 solid. At the minimum, 10-9. Yeah. You could possibly, like you said, even go 10-8
for the 10-8 in the third round.
Like I couldn't even. I would have been upset at a split, even if it went his way, and I would have been. I still would have been mad even if it was a majority draw. There's no reason why Max Griffin loses fight.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could understand. Maybe a majority draw with giving Morono 10-8 for the second round.
That's tough though to give him 10-8. He didn't get beat until the end of the round.
Right, and then but then you still got to give Griffin 10-9 in the third round for that to come out. I just don't. It's a
weird decision. We're seeing a lot of fighters now coming out and trying to have appealing their decisions.
Yeah.
This is the one time I think a decision absolutely needs to be appealed.
Right. I agree with one other appeal that has happened in the past before this. Because I've been looking at the appeals quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the names of.
Yeah. It was the two. Wasn't it the one with Lima?
No, but it was before these current ones. Something I seen in the archives from last year, and the guy who's on the card in the upcoming event, Darren Stewart.
Yeah.
His last fight, I forget who his opponent was.
Yeah.
But maybe not his last fight, but the fight before that. And Darren Stewart had won by TKO, and then the opponent had appealed it.
Yeah.
And the grounds for his appeal that right before Darren Stewart finishes him with a flurry of punches, he catches a massive headbutt, which is what initially hurt him. When he plays, when they review it over and over, they find the other fighter to be correct. Then Darren Stewart had to fight him again, and that other fighter won by unanimous decision. So you can't argue with the appeal there.
Yeah. I mean,
that's an illegal strike.
There it is.
So Yeah, Max Griffin's got to make them watch that again.
Highway robbery.
And maybe gets it overturned to a split his way, but I don't know. That's tough.
All right. Well, in the light heavyweight division, Ryan Spann, 16-5, going up against the 10-3 Devin Clark. I did miss this fight. Oh, tell me about it, please.
Oh, good fight. Ryan Spann was calm and patient like I'd never seen him before, to tell you the truth. Sat back and waited. The first round was actually pretty lackluster. Spann trying to walk him down. Devin Clark looked like he was fighting like Tyron Woodley, dancing around the outside and trying to throw explosive punches and, you know, shoot the explosive double leg. It goes 2 rounds of lackluster fighting like that pretty much. And Spann decides about 2 minutes into the second round to open up with a combo, catches Devin Clark with one shot, starts to unload, backs him to the cage with the punches, catches Devin Clark's neck in the exchange, and gives him a vicious standing guillotine. You know the height of Ryan Spann.
Yes, he's very tall.
And Devin Clark was quite outmatched in height in that department. So he got picked off the ground a little bit. You know how devastating that could be. So, and then he sinks down trying to go to the ground, and Spann goes down with him. Ends up tapping right away anyways, 2 minutes in the second round.
Nice.
Guillotine submission for Ryan Spann.
Nice, nice. And then, just because I know that we talked about this earlier, the main event, Mike Davis, in the lightweight division, Mike Davis stepping in, 6-2, going up against Thomas Gifford, 14-8, 2-0 contest. Tell us about this.
You know, Gifford seems to have a lot of fights on his record, but he's a young guy. A lot of them got to be regional fights, you know, against low-ranked competition, because good fighter, good all-around fighter, better grappler than striker.
Yeah.
And they put him in with an absolute beast in Mike Davis.
Wow.
Gifford was completely outmatched. I mean, he was a punching bag for 3 rounds. I didn't get the minute here. Oh, it was 4 minutes 45 seconds into the third round, so 15 seconds to the end.
Wow.
He finally goes to sleep by the accumulation of power strikes. I'm talking multiple jumping knees, landing flush to the face.
Damn.
Huge power punches. In the first round, the kid's walking through him. Everybody in the whole arena is astonished that he's getting hit like this, and he's not even reacting. So, I mean, great fortitude, but there's a line. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course there is.
Like where these two guys should not be even in the octagon together. I mean, I guess Dana White might have been looking at Thomas Gifford's grappling ability, which is significant, that maybe he would have, you know, pressed the advantage there against Davis, but couldn't do nothing there.
Wow.
And Davis just beat the hell out of him. It's terrible.
So worse than last week's fight.
So much more brutal than that. I mean, Malarkey, you had a thought that maybe he had a chance the whole time.
Yeah.
Not 1 second did you think Thomas Gifford had any shot of hurting Mike Davis in any way. And you know, it looked like a guy just picking on somebody. And I don't know. I don't really blame the ref for not stopping it. There was one instance, maybe close to the end of the first round, where he's pouring it on. He dropped him, and he's, you know, raining shots on him. But he's still rolling. He's still trying to cover. You know, let him fight to the bell. I agree with that. And he had only caught 1 round of terrible damage at that point.
At that point, yeah.
But then the second round is just as brutal. He drops him a few times, knocks him back to the cage a few times, you know, but the kid's got no quit. And, but, you know, I don't really blame the ref, because it really wasn't an instance that he could have stopped it in that round. But going after the second round, his corner should have stopped that for sure. They shouldn't have let him come out for the third round. Wow. Terrible. And then he beat on him for another 4 minutes and 45 seconds before he ends up face planting him into the mat with a right hand. Terrible. Terrible fight. I mean, like, it wasn't even fun to watch.
Damn.
You know, bad matchup.
Damn.
Not happy with that matchup. It looked like a professional fighting an amateur. No offense to Thomas Gifford in any way, but there's levels to certain stuff.
And his chin kept him in it for too long.
Yeah. The striking differential was terrible.
Wow.
And the power differential, you know. And his dad was one of his cornermen too. I kept hearing that from Bisping, like, how is his father letting this happen? You know, throw the towel.
Yep.
I don't know.
Wow. All right. Well,
hopefully he's all right.
Yeah, you know? Yeah, let's hope so.
Yeah.
All right, going into the main card, starting it off, Nico Price and James Vick jumping up from the prelims into the main card. Nico Price 13-3 with 1 no contest, going up against 13-4 James Vick. How'd this fight go?
Crazy fight. You know, real quick one. I didn't write the minute down.
But it was fast.
Nico makes a silly mistake, actually gets tripped up, falls down. Vic goes to swarm him, trying to get on top of him. Nico Price with a crazy up kick, the heel right into James Vick's mouth.
Yes.
And knocks him out cold.
Cold.
Yeah.
And then just like a couple more punches for good measure. But he felt like he went out on top of him.
Ref couldn't even tell at first. It looks like he's laying in his guard. You know, terrible knockout for James Vick.
And I actually do remember that.
Performance of the night for Nico Price for the knockout.
I mean, it's only we only ever seen it one other time, and it wasn't even UFC, but it was Anderson Silva from his back. But dude was in his guard, wraps the leg around and just conks him.
Yeah. And Nico Price got another knockout from the bottom with elbows from a guy in the UFC too. Yeah.
Wow.
So
that's crazy.
Can't get you from anywhere.
And then you got Eric Anders, 12-4 in the middleweight division, going up against 29-11 Gerald Meerschaert. How'd this one go?
Interesting fight.
Yeah, I thought so.
You know, Eric Anders, at first glance, looks tentative in this, but really it's hats off to Meerschaert's defense. I think, you know, good 1s and 2s. Real good jab from Meerschaert. Better striking from Anders, though. He couldn't really explode like he wanted to, normal, though, you know.
And I think that's kudos, like you said.
He said Gerald kept him a little confused, you know, and yeah, it was a good all-around fight. Just a boxing match more than anything. You know, a little bit better for Anders than Meerschaert. He comes away with the unanimous decision.
And there it is. In the lightweight division, Matt Favola, 7-1-1, going up against the 7-1 Luis Pena. And from what you told me, another robbery.
Another robbery, absolutely. I'd say, you know, round 1, Favola comes out guns blazing.
Yeah.
He's a Florida native, you know, wanted to put a show for the fans. Comes out just guns blazing. Can't really find the range. Pena's so tall.
Yeah.
Got that good head movement. Stays back nicely. He's definitely the better striker. Favola was landing a little bit. He had a nice style. Great wrestling. Big takedowns in the first round. I think he had 2 good slams there. Pena, though, recovers on the ground, though. Immediately his guard is so active.
Yep.
Almost locks up the buggy choke. And that was pretty cool. Something you don't see. Definitely Pena puts it on him in the second round.
I thought so.
Opens up with the striking. Catches a few here and there of the overhand rights from Favola. You know, he's got some good boxing. But Pena was definitely putting it on him in the second round. Big knees.
Yep. I remember. It was definitely a good performance by him.
Third round, a little bit even. You know, Favola definitely hit him with a nice overhand right, rocked him. Pena was in trouble there for sure. But then it's back and forth. Favola's gassed at that point for sure. And, you know, he gets a suplex on Pena at one point. It was pretty cool in the third round. But I definitely would give this first round to Pena, and I would give the second round to Pena 10-8 for sure. So I don't understand this decision again because we got a split decision here for Matt Favola. And I didn't get the numbers all the way across, but I think it was 29-28. And yeah, so they're calling him probably getting the first and third rounds.
Wow.
So they must have been calling it on his big slams in the first round.
Yep.
But I don't think that outdoes the near choke finish. But it's a strange submission, so they don't know it.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't see the danger. If they don't see the danger there, they shouldn't be judging MMA fights.
Touche.
And he definitely outstruck him from that submission attempt on. So, yeah, I don't get that. That's unlucky for Luis Pena, but decision for Favola.
All right. In the women's strawweight division, Mackenzie Dern, 7-0, going up against the 7-1 Amanda Rivas. Let's talk about this fight.
Great fight. Mackenzie Dern, I think, great power puncher. I think she probably shouldn't be down here at strawweight, honestly, to tell you the truth. I think she'd be up at flyweight.
Yeah.
Because I think the speed of the strawweights is too much for her.
Okay.
Because I thought the striking exchanges was good, but Amanda Ribas was just so much faster, so much tighter and more technical. But Dern was right there. She just got beat to the punch every time in every exchange. Nothing too serious with the striking battle. The ground display was incredible by both women. Ribas with some great judo takedowns, great throws on her. But, Dern's guard was great on the ground. They would back and forth constantly. Fantastic fight. If it wasn't for, the later fights, this would have got fight of the night, because of how entertaining it was.
It was an extremely entertaining fight. I know how entertained I was.
Incredibly entertaining grappling match, especially. It showed real high-level skill. And Amanda Ribas with a great unanimous decision. She's a threat in the strawweight.
I agree. I agree. I'd like to see her get to move up and see maybe get to see Jessica Andrade. I think that would be a good.
Yeah, I mean she's on a tear. She's got to fight somebody big now for sure. Just beats the undefeated fighter here, so absolutely.
There it is. All right, in the featherweight division, this was unexpected. Cub Swanson, 25-11, going up against the undefeated 5-0 Kron Gracie.
Not exactly unexpected per se. I said, it was either first round submission or 5 rounds of war.
Yes.
So we got 5 rounds of war. 3 rounds of war. Because it was a co-main event. But fantastic fight.
It was incredible.
This is fight of the night.
Oh,
for me,
absolutely.
For sure.
I think, didn't we say that this was likely to be fight of the night? I thought so.
Because, we thought Joanna would put the beating, which she did. But Cub Swanson, fantastic movement.
Yeah.
What a great game plan, I think. He said, how do I avoid grappling with him? Don't let him get in grappling range. You know what I mean?
And he did exactly that. I think this was the best Cub Swanson we've seen in a while.
Great movement, great cardio, great kicks.
Yeah.
The body punches is probably what won him the fight. Great varied attack in general is what kept Kron Gracie guessing. Every time that he had to try to chase Cub down, and he kept coming forward.
Yeah. He never looked defeated.
Had decent hands, threw over 200 punches himself, you know what I mean? Landed over 150 or 135, I think it was, for Kron Gracie. Yeah.
Wow.
It's just that Cub threw about 300 something and lands over 200.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't realize it was that high volume.
What a high volume for both of them. Yeah, Kron was landing in there.
Oh, he was. But I give it to Kron. I didn't expect him to have that level of striking, and it was
fortitude.
Impressive. Yeah,
I mean, no punch wobbled him.
Nope.
Not once. Not even late. Well, late, you've seen the body shots start to hurt,
and that's you can't take that many.
I don't know how many liver shots he was hit with, and just a great job by Cub Swanson to get the unanimous decision. Kron couldn't.
Victory for
Kron
Cub Swanson.
Couldn't do a thing about it. He needs to train some wrestling. Is what Kron Gracie needs. Absolutely.
This is going to put Cub Swanson in line for some more entertaining and high level fights. To beat the up and comer, the guy that people thought was going to kind of move his way through the division and get stopped. Definitely an excellent fight. Great test for both guys. I can't wait to see either one of them fight again.
Absolutely.
All right, and then the main event of the evening in the women's strawweight division, the return of Joanna Jędrzejczyk, 15-3 against the karate hottie, 17-6, Michelle Waterman, Michelle Waterson. This, you know what? I was definitely highly entertained by this fight.
Oh, absolutely. fantastic. Both of them looked as good as we've ever seen them.
Yep.
I think. Joanna back in her championship form for sure.
Yep.
Fights the same fight we've seen from her. I don't know how many times. Great kicks, great pace, great jab early on. It's the when she hits you with those low kicks and that jab early on, it really sets the pace.
Yeah.
So if you can't match it, you can't hit her. Pretty much, and you can't slow her down.
The one thing I think people forget before the fight, because she always looks small, is she's so tall and long for that division.
And she's strong as hell for somebody that little. They imagined that I even gave the strength advantage in our last episode to Michelle Waterson in this, but when they clinched against the cage, we didn't see any strength advantage for her whatsoever. No. Great grappling defense. I actually am giving Joanna technique of the week for her forehead to chin on the clinch against the fence.
Yes.
I think that's what kept Michelle off her. I had said that Michelle needed to take her down. She needed to get top control, but she's not the best wrestler. But she's a good judo player. Her best ways are with whizzer throws or judo head throws, and the best way to avoid any kind of judo grappling is to secure underhooks and bury your own forehead into your opponent's face and mush their face in. They can't pull you close because you're pushing them away.
Yeah.
So that really created the space she needed and pounded her with knees because, like you said, how tall she is. When she was doing this, she was at such an angle that her midsection is still wide open, knee after knee after knee.
Oh my God! It was kind of a striking clinic for Joanna. It was pretty impressive.
An incredible grappling defense. Michelle had the great flash moment. I think it was round 3, where she gets her back, jumps on Joanna.
Oh man! That was a scary moment right there.
Sinks the choke on, just has it on the chin though. I got it written here that she should have went palm to palm. That would have gave her a little bit more pull room. That where she maybe would have popped under the chin because she was real close to securing it under the chin. Or,
I don't care what anybody says. Joanna was scared. You could see it in her face.
If she could have got a little more squeeze, maybe she could have got her to tap on the neck crank. You know what I mean? On the pain on the jaw, but. She couldn't time her pace, couldn't keep up with her.
And she did have one, there was one strike. I think it was a head kick when she got Joanna in the first round.
She definitely
and Joanna laughed it off okay, you came to play.
Landed a couple good front kicks, here and there. She wasn't, overly matched. She was Michelle Waterson.
Yeah, I don't think she was out of the fight, but Michelle Waterson is never going to be like that championship top contender. I think she's just, her name is so big in the UFC that when you beat her, it gives you
And it's a hard style to fight, that high pace of striking. I mean, over 200 strikes, significant. Over 200 significant strikes landed for Joanna.
Really?
In this matchup. I mean, it's 5 rounds, so.
Yeah, exactly.
But, the foot swollen on Joanna. Not broken, though.
Yeah, broken?
Find out the next day, no broken bones.
Okay.
Just, taking a pounding from beating on Michelle's
Probably
legs,
hitting the elbow.
Yeah, I knew she was kicking the body so much. And, hitting the knee maybe here and there, too. But Joanna with a great decision. And,
Now, do you think
she had said though she only wanted to go for the title? She only wanted to fight Michelle Waterson if she goes right for the title after that. So.
And my question is, do we think that this puts? Because I mean, you gotta does Thug Rose?
I feel like she should have to fight somebody else before the belt.
I mean, Thug Rose hasn't even gotten an opportunity to regain her title after beating not only beating Joanna for it and knocking her out, and I don't care what anybody says. If you watch that fight, Joanna tapped from strikes.
Yeah, she does.
She tapped. And then comes back and gets a decision over her. So I think that...
And to beat Joanna in a 5-round decision, I think says more than the flash knockout. I mean, that's incredible.
Because anybody can get caught.
Because like I said, Michelle couldn't keep her pace. Rose could. Yeah. Rose made her alter her pace. You know what I mean? That's something that's incredible.
Do we see Joanna Thug 3 or...
Joanna Andrade?
Oh,
Why not?
That's it right there.
You know?
That's it right there. Joanna
Andrade holds the win over Rose.
Yep.
Whereas, you know, Joanna doesn't, and Andrade coming off the loss. Why not?
I like that a lot.
I think she should have to fight somebody in the strawweight division again.
A title holder. A title holder before she gets that belt.
One of those top ones before she goes.
You may have been the most dominant champ there's been, but now there's a lot of dominant fighters in that division.
But there's new ladies around.
Exactly.
You know? Exactly.
You know, because Joanna is kind of I put her above this, but I'm gonna the comparison. Joanna is the Ronda Rousey of the strawweight division. Right. She beat everybody before there was anybody to beat.
That's true.
You know, the best competition.
But she was definitely better than Rousey.
Yeah, that's why I said
because she's still there and can still contend for
exactly.
that. Yeah.
And if she were to fight any of the best fighters, you don't know who's going to win that fight. And when Ronda Rousey came back, you know, even though you wanted to think you knew she was done.
Yeah.
All right, now let's hit some news.
In this interesting little story I read, Jon Jones hit with over $1 million in tax liens recently.
Wow.
That he paid all of them off, but that's why it became public knowledge. Because he paid them off, and they were all old, outstanding income tax stuff, property tax stuff.
Where's his business manager?
Yeah, I didn't understand.
Or his accountant.
I didn't understand it at all. Utility tax, they said, from old bills, like utility bills that he had. I'm like, what is going on here?
That's so
who's
weird.
Taking care of the man's business.
Yeah, right.
I didn't understand.
All the money he's making, someone should have been paying attention to that.
Yeah, I thought that was a little odd. But
Jon Jones, I'm not the greatest, but I'll pay your bills for you, bro.
Right. I'll make sure you ain't late.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
I need that money, son. I gotta pay the bill.
Rumble.
Yeah.
You know, we've been hearing about him coming back.
Possible heavyweight.
Said he wanted to fight Jon Jones at heavyweight. Now he's just saying he wants to fight Jon Jones, and he's willing to come down to 205.
Wow. You know, I feel like as fans of the UFC, we got robbed of that fight.
We did.
And
we did, absolutely.
Even though I think with the amount of time Rumble's been gone, I don't think his ability to beat Jon Jones is as close as it might have been. But yeah, I'd still watch that fight.
I don't know where it's coming from for Rumble. You know,
he's probably just itching for that return to the octagon.
Then at first he said, you know, he was interested in Francis Ngannou at heavyweight. I think that's, you know,
that's an excellent fight.
That's excellent, and I think why not go for somebody a little lower. I think he's, you know, setting himself up to get hurt. I don't know what kind of shape he's in. Honestly.
I mean, but Rumble was always dominant. There was only one
always
man.
Did cut a huge amount of weight and somehow had it down to a science. I mean, the man fought at welterweight.
Did he really?
You don't remember that?
No.
He came into the UFC at welterweight.
Wow.
Can you imagine that?
I can't imagine.
And then went up and had fights in every weight class from there.
Wow. Did he have a fight in heavyweight? Because I didn't remember seeing him fight.
No, he didn't get up to the
He just fought in welter and middle and then in light heavy?
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. But I would like to. I mean, Rumble was an exciting fighter. I mean, the only person who could beat him was Daniel Cormier, because he never actually got a chance to fight Jon Jones. The one time I think they were supposed to, Jones got suspended. So
right. I mean, so I don't know how much it holds though. He loses twice to Cormier. Cormier loses twice to Jones. Like I don't, you know.
Yeah.
What does that fight really hold?
Exactly.
I love Rumble, but you know, go to the heavyweight division, fight. You know, Greg Hardy or Walt Harris or something like that.
One of those up-and-coming guys, yeah. Show him what a veteran can do.
Right.
I'd like to see it.
Silly story, I think. Aspen Ladd. Only really talking about it because how much we've been talking about these appeals.
Exactly.
You know, and this is a weird appeal here. She was appealing her stoppage loss against Jermaine Randoname.
Yeah.
Saying that Herb Dean would have let it continue if that was a man. That he would have let it go on a little more. And you know, Herb showed up for the hearing.
Yeah.
And explicitly said that he would never be a discriminator of any kind. Definitely not a gender discriminator.
No. And I mean, what did you really want? Did you watch the video, Aspen? Like, if he didn't stop the fight, your face was going to get blown out. Like,
what gets me a little bit though is I out of 5 people on the board, they voted 3-2 to not overturn.
Oh, so she even got 2?
She got 2 votes, 2 people to agree with her. So
wow.
I don't know with this appeals process, you know. But like the one we talked about earlier, and I'd love to see Luis Pena get his turned over, or Max Griffin.
Max Griffin to me is
even
like
more so than Luis Pena.
Because I can't imagine how that fight was given to Morono. That it just didn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
so
I think the solution is better judging. Like we've said for
a while that we need veteran fighters.
Absolutely.
Intelligent, like some of the more highly intelligent veteran fighters to come in and start.
And I think that's up to athletic commissions. Make it a position that people want. I don't know. It's terrible though. Big news. ONE FC. I dropped the ball on a huge card that we missed. Yeah, good thing that I'm not employed here. Good thing we own my free time.
Yes.
But it was a huge card, the 1 Century card. It was 2 parts, all day again.
All day?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was actually live on TNT, the nighttime card. Huge deal for the ONE Championship.
They're on TNT.
They were live on TNT.
Wow.
And and I didn't tell anybody. I thought it was going to be this coming week, so that's on my fault. But let me give you the recap of the big time matchups and tell you the winners. In the atomweight division, female Angela Lee, the longtime champion. This was her 5th defense in a row. Wins in the 5th round late against Zhang Jingnan with a rear naked choke submission. Super exciting fight. You can check all these out on the ONE Championship app. The Flyweight World Grand Prix title was on the line.
Yeah.
The finish of the Grand Prix tournament, Demetrius Johnson against Danny Kinyard. Great fight. 5-round decision. Both men beat the crap out of each other.
Really?
Back and forth. Demetrius Johnson adds another belt to his trophy case. And this is separate from the flyweight world title.
Yeah.
This is a Grand Prix title.
Yeah.
Which fantastic looking belt. It was a silver belt, different than the ONE Championship gold belt, and real big though, real nice looking. I liked it. And,
better than the new ugly as hell UFC belt.
Yeah, I would have to say the regular titles for the ONE Championship are gorgeous. I think the regular World Championship mixed martial arts title and the Muay Thai titles. But we had another Grand Prix final here. The lightweight division, Christian Lee and Syed. Yeah.
What happened to
Sagid Arsenalovin? Eddie Alvarez, I believe, is in. Yeah, this. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't the Grand Prix final.
Oh, all right.
But I thought it was.
Yeah, I mean,
in the results that I looked up. Yeah, and the results that I looked up, I'm pretty sure this was the lightweight Grand Prix final.
Interesting.
Is Alvarez up at welterweight in the ONE Championship?
I couldn't imagine so.
I didn't think so.
So maybe he lost? I thought that because he won the last fight.
Oh no, he had to bow out
because of the injury.
The injury, and this guy stepped in because he had won. They did a catch fight or something like that. Yeah. Alvarez had to bow out of the Grand Prix due to injury.
Because I was going to say, wait a minute.
And Christian Lee wins this fight by decision, and he is also the light heavyweight champion, the title holder. So now he's the Grand Prix title holder and the light heavyweight champion. And yeah, those belts look pretty good.
Awesome.
And then we have part 2 of the 1 Century card. Muay Thai Grand Prix title, Giorgio Petrosian, my dude, gets an awesome decision over Sami Sana. Highest level of Muay Thai here. Giorgio Petrosian with the gray belt here. Muay Thai World Championship in the flyweight division. Rod Tang goes against Walter Concalves from Brazil. Rodtang with a decision keeps his belt for his second title defense, I believe. Then back to MMA, we had the bantamweight champion Bibiano Fernandez with a round 2 rear naked choke over Kevin Bellanon. Fantastic fight. This is Fernandez's 10th title defense in a row in the for the bantamweight belt. Yeah, nice. He's somebody to watch. And then we had a light heavyweight title fight between Allah Unsang and Brandon Vera, who's the heavyweight champion. He came down to light heavyweight 205 to challenge for the title. Unsang is also the middleweight title holder.
Oh, wow.
And he put a beating on Brandon Vera. and ends up with a round 2 TKO to retain his belt.
Dope. Yeah. All right. Breaking news. This just in, very unfortunate. Patrick Day, boxer, 27 years old, out of Freeport, New York, 4 days after getting knocked out in the 10th round to Charles Conwell, 21-year-old blue chip prospect out of Cleveland. Patrick Day dies from injuries occurred in the ring.
I was reading about it earlier, and they were saying he was still fighting for his life. So
and he just passed away.
Terrible to hear.
I don't know what's going on, man. This is like the third death in as many months.
It's always been, more prevalent in boxing than, any other
But the last time it had happened was in 82. Before these 3 deaths, the last time it happened was in 82. So, now all of a sudden you got 3 guys that are dying in the ring. I don't know what's going on here, but
I think that, they have to probably go back and look into them fights, see what was the deciding factors, you know what I mean? Or maybe they're getting easy with issuing boxing licenses. Maybe these guys aren't healthy enough to be fighting in the first place.
Or maybe there needs to be less rounds in boxing.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of the amount of brain damage you take from boxing.
Yeah, because you're only getting hit in the head. I mean,
yeah, it's you take a beating from it. It's terrible to hear, but
my condolences to his family and friends.
Absolutely.
All right, on to this upcoming event, UFC on ESPN 6, Reyes versus Weidman, Friday, October 18th, 9 p.m. here in Boston at the TD Garden.
Yeah.
Chris Weidman making his debut at light heavyweight. And this card, the main card itself looks incredible, but the prelims are looking pretty good themselves. We're gonna bang those out real quick. In the opening up the prelims heavyweight division, Daniel Spitz 6-2 going up against the 16-5-1 Tanner Boser. Who you got?
Boring fight. I'm gonna go with Spitz. He's huge, 6'7", but Boser doesn't do anything. He's boring. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Spitz. I think this is gonna be boring though. Spitz is gonna lumber around chasing Boser.
All right. Well, I actually took Boser in this fight, so we'll see what happens. Yeah. In the middleweight division, Brandon Allen's 12-3 going up against the 15-4 Kevin Holland.
Kevin Holland, another lackluster, tentative guy, but bad takedown defense, real bad. So Brandon Allen gets a hand on him. He's got 7 submissions on his record. I see Brandon Allen taking this.
Interesting, because I recognize Kevin Holland. Wait, is it? Yeah, Kevin Holland's the black dude, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like Kevin Holland.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. All right.
Don't make what I said untrue.
In the welterweight division, Court McGee, 19-8, going up against the undefeated Sean Brady.
Court McGee been in the UFC over 10 years. He's lost.
And we still don't know who he is.
Yeah, he's lost 4 of his last 6 fights. He's super tall, got a lot of reach. Sean Brady with better hands, better wrestling should take this.
Well, yeah, he's not only is he undefeated, but his last name's Brady, and he's in Boston.
I'll take
Sean Brady all day. And then in the bantamweight division, Randy Costa 4-1 going up against the 6-2 Boston Salmon. And if your name is Boston and you fight in Boston, you must win.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick him. He's a better boxer. He's been unlucky, but Costa's a brawler and gasses out. So I'm going with Salmon for sure.
All right, in the featherweight division, Kyle Bochniak, 8-4, going up against the undefeated Sean Woodson.
Woodson on the debut. He's a brawler from what I can tell. Bochniak from Boston.
Yeah.
More well-rounded. Got the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu blue belt. I'm going with Bochniak. Bochniak for sure.
Bochniak's from Boston, so I have to take that one.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to pick against a Boston fighter here.
Can't do it. In the women's flyweight division, Molly McCann, 9-2, going up against the 11-4 Diane Belbita.
Diana Belbita with her debut. Molly McCann, we like, meatball. She's a British fighter from Liverpool with the good accent.
Okay.
She had a great decision last time against Ariane Lipsky. Gotta go with her.
That.
She's 2 out of 3 in the UFC overall. Gotta go with.
And I also went with Molly McCann. And then in the main event of the prelims, in the featherweight division, Charles Rosa, 11-3, going up against the 14-1 Manny Bermudez.
It's an interesting fight. Both pretty good grapplers, pretty well decorated grapplers. So I think that it'll cancel it,
and then they'll be on
a striking battle. I think Rosa can benefit from that, and he's from Massachusetts, so Charlie Rosa.
Son of a gun! I want to pick him, but I like that 14-1 record.
Yeah,
I'm gonna stick with Manny Bermudez. All right, now into the main card where it's gonna get really exciting, really fast. In the middleweight division, Deron Winn, undefeated, 6-0, going up against the 10-4, 1-0 contest, Darren Stewart. What do you got?
This is a great fight. Deron Winn been on the tear. He's a prodigy. Daniel Cormier's guy here. Darren Stewart, another guy who's great, British fighter. He's a better striker than Deron Winn for sure. He's got good hands though, and he's an incredible wrestler.
Oh,
incredible wrestler. I think if he doesn't use them takedowns, then he's going to be in trouble. I think Darren Stewart's the best striker he's faced, and this is his sternest test, and this is exciting.
Oh, okay.
For sure.
So who you got?
I don't know. I like Deron Winn a lot, but I got to go with Darren Stewart, I think.
All right. I'm going to take Winn with the undefeated record. In the women's flyweight division, Macy Barber, 7-0, going up against 7-3 Jillian Robertson. And I love Jillian Robertson. I think she's such a gritty fighter, but I love that undefeated record.
So this is another real tough one to call. I mean, I like these girls a lot. Macy Barber's huge hype train around her. Mm-hmm. She's 21. Sky's the limit. She got 2 TKOs in the UFC out of 2 fights.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's rare.
J.J. Aldrich and Hannah Cyphers. 2 quality opponents.
And J.J. Aldridge, excellent striker. So.
And Jillian Robertson's 4-1 in the UFC, a little longer on the career. Her last fight
was excellent.
That TKO against Sarah Froda was incredible. Mm-hmm. Worked her in every position. That was her first TKO, so more of a submission fighter. But yeah, she got her hands full on the feet, though, I think, with Macy Barber. I got to go with Macy.
And I'm in agreement with you.
I think the striking's going to be too much for her.
In the lightweight division, Joe Larzon, 27-15, going up against the 7-3 Jonathan Pierce.
I can't believe you murdered Joe Lauzon's name.
I did murder his name.
You remember Joe Lauzon?
I know who Joe Lauzon is.
He's a veteran Massachusetts fighter. I think they pulled him from the local ranks just to
put him into this.
Yeah, he's had a hard go the past couple of years. I mean, he's 35. His chin has been battle tried,
battle tested,
battle beaten. So I'd hate for Jonathan Pierce to get a hard shot on it because he'll probably go to sleep. He's got 3 losses in a row, Joe Lauzon, but he's the better submission fighter by far. 18 submissions on his record, 4-fight win streak for Pierce. Though it's hard to believe that Joe Lauzon's going to stop him.
I have to agree with you, Jonathan Pierce all day.
Yeah, I'm going to think first round stoppage by the debuting kid.
And then a really exciting fight in the heavyweight division. Greg Hardy returning to the octagon, 5-1, going up against 7-2, 1-0 contest, Ben Sosoli.
Yeah, Sosoli. Sosoli definitely smaller, not as powerful. Greg Hardy's crazy physical specimen. You know, needs to be seasoned though. He needs experience. He needs fight minutes. Like these first round early stoppages are not helping his career.
Not at all.
He's not gaining experience.
Not a little bit.
He's not being put in the situations here. So you know, Sosoli needs to fight technical, and maybe he could do something. Other than that, we'll probably see another, you know,
Greg Hardy knockout.
A brawl and a Greg Hardy knockout.
All right, in the featherweight division, what we all have been hoping for, what we all deserve as fans, we're being given it again right away, very fast. In the co-main event, featherweight division, the return of Yair Rodriguez, 11-2 with 1 no contest against Jeremy Stephens, 28-16, 1 no contest.
I was looking for what I had said the first time. Honestly, oh, here it is. Yeah, might as well use this. 6-fight win streak for Yair Rodriguez. Lost to Frankie Edgar, KO'd the Korean Zombie with that great elbow we all know. You know, he's got the range. Jeremy's got that crazy power. Lost last to Jose. His last 2 fights, Jose Aldo and Zabit, you know, but he's got great boxing, great power. I don't think, you know, any of that has changed since
the last time they were supposed to fight.
However, a little bad blood now.
A lot of bad blood now after Yair calling him, you know, a chicken.
Yeah, pretty much. And I don't know, I think the physical edge still goes to Rodriguez, but I think Jeremy Stephens with enough fortitude puts a shot on him. I'm going with Jeremy.
I went with Jeremy last time. I am not changing that.
Yeah,
Jeremy Stephens all day. He's coming in angry now. And then the main event of the evening, like I said, Chris Weidman making the jump up to light heavyweight, going up against the undefeated light heavyweight Dominic Reyes, 11-0. Chris Weidman, 14-4. What do you think?
You know, Reyes, big-time striker. We haven't seen what he could do on the ground. Weidman, a fantastic wrestler. He could maybe get a win there, but Reyes, out of his fights, has 85% takedown defense.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
That is crazy.
Weidman, his 5 last fights, KO lost to Rockhold, KO lost to Yoel Romero when he was kneed to another dimension. Lost to Gegard Mousasi, but then he got a dominant submission of Kevin Gastelum, and then loses to Jacare. Now we see him in light heavyweight. Maybe if he takes him to the ground. Besides that, Reyes is going to pick him apart from range.
Yeah. I think that Chris Weidman is in for a rude awakening in the light heavyweight division. I mean,
I think he used to cut a ton of weight, so I don't think he'll be too oversized in the light heavyweight division. I don't know how much it affected his fighting ability before cutting all that weight, so I don't know if it gives him anything more.
To be honest with you, I've always thought that Chris Weidman was overrated. He got all of his hype because Anderson Silva got sloppy in a fight, and he caught him with a knockout, and then Anderson Silva breaks his leg off of his knee.
Right, but every loss we've seen from them is terrible striking losses.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And since Anderson, all he's tried to do is strike. His march up to that title shot with Anderson was putting dudes on their back and pounding them or submitting them. If he takes Reyes down,
what could happen there?
I don't know.
All right.
But now, I think Reyes knees him and kicks him from range, and you know.
Quick question before we head out. If Dominic Reyes wins this fight, is he in line to fight Jones? Because he's undefeated in light heavyweight and has only person in light heavyweight not to get a title shot against Jones.
Yeah, and I mean, Chris Weidman, if he gets a dominant win from Reyes, he's expecting a title shot. He's even said it in interviews, which I think is ridiculous.
That is absolutely ridiculous. You haven't faced Alexander Gustafsson. You gotta. I feel like you gotta face.
And coming off all them losses at middleweight, none of that makes sense.
Anthony Smith.
I think a dominant win for Reyes should get him a title shot.
Okay, cool. All right, well, that's the time we have for you today. Well, like I said, UFC on ESPN 6, Reyes Weidman on Friday, October 18th, 9 p.m. at the Garden. And until next week, we'll see you in the Octagon. Have a good night.